Hey guys, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm. By day I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, and today I'm going to teach you how to crochet the thermal double crochet stitch in the round. This is a great way to use the thermal double crochet stitch. You can use it for hats or headbands or any other circular stitch you want. I had a lot of people ask me how to join this stitch in the round, so I'm going to show you how to do that today. If you're ready to learn, let's grab a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. I am using US crochet terms for today's tutorial. Also for today's tutorial, I'm using a size J 6.0 millimeter crochet hook and some medium size 4 acrylic yarn. So to start, you need to have a chain of any number. There's no multiples to the thermal double crochet stitch. When joining this in the round, you need to have a fair amount of thermal double crochet stitches. This is not going to give you a very small middle spot. This is going to be more like a lower edge of a hat or a headband, your whole circumference, because it's really hard to do this stitch where there's very little space. You can do it, but it's a little more difficult. So I've got here a chain of 20. Now what I need to do is join this chain into a circle. Now I need to be careful not to twist the chain at all. I want to make sure it is nice and flat. So here I've got my chain of 20. I'm going to come over here and I'm simply going to grab this top leg right here. So each chain stitch has 3 legs or parts to it. 1, 2, 3. I'm simply going to grab this top one. I'm just facing it forward again, making sure everything is nice and straight. I'm inserting my hook there. Now I'm simply going to slip stitch through it. So I do that by yarning over, pulling through that leg that we went through and through the loop that was on my hook. I'm going to tighten my chain stitch up just a hair there. After joining your chain into a circle, what you're going to do first is you're going to chain 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to work into the back bumps of the chain. So not this way. We're not working how I would traditionally work a stitch. I'm going to work into these back bumps only. Now we're going to work right in here into this back bump right here, right after the join with the slip stitch. So we're going into this back bump right here. So we're going to work a regular double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, come into this back bump, yarn over, pull through that loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that completes 1 regular double crochet. I'm going to continue working 1 regular double crochet into the back bumps only of the chain all the way around. So again, I yarn over, insert into the back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm going to keep working these all the way around. When I get back to the other end, I'll show you how I end this row of stitches. So now we have 2 stitches left, so hopefully you can see those 2 back bumps that we're left working into. So I'm going to yarn over, insert into this back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I have 1 more here, so I'm going to insert, and sometimes those back bumps can be a little hard, especially right next to the knot if you've over tightened it. And replace my last back bump. Now what you should notice here is see how this side is starting to fall kind of in. This is the top edge, and again we really want to make sure, especially when we join this first round, that we get the top edge nice and straight, that we don't get it all twisted. So we need to make sure that this comes up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work into this space right here. This is part of the top of that first double crochet. So we're going to come over here, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through to slip stitch that shut. And that completes the first round here of the thermal double crochet in the round. So you can count your stitches by counting each of the V's on the top here. So again, we lost 1, so we should be at 19. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. You don't count this one because you either count this or this, because this is our join space. You don't count both of them. So you're going to count 1. So this is what it looks like here. So I counted it on this side, not on this side. Now we're ready for row 2. So to start round 2, first thing we need to do is start by chaining 1. Now I like to take and flip this ring inside out because I'm actually working on these stitches in here. So I'm going to flip this so it's all outside. It makes it a little easier to see. Now I'm going to show you a picture here that shows which loops to work everything together with. So I'm going to yarn over, insert, pick up that back loop. Now its parallel partner is just a little bit off. It's a little bit kind of askew from it. You're going to come pick up this loop right here. This is going to help hide some stuff in the middle here. So this first parallel partner is kind of a little bit upward diagonal movements. This is what it looks like right here. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. There's 2 left. Yarn over, pull through 2. And that completes 1 thermal double crochet stitch. Now I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to come and pick up the next stitch, so just the back loop right here. Now I'm skipping over this little mess right here. I'm going to come here and pick up this parallel partner. Now we're parallel again. Again, doing it this way helps to kind of hide some of that stuff, that bulky stuff at the join inside of the stitches. It'll help make things disappear a little bit. So again, yarn over. Now I'm going to go to the next stitch, pick up the back loop, come across, pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that completes another one. I'm going to continue working thermal double crochets all the way around here, and I'll show you how I end this round. So back loop, parallel, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm going to keep going around, and I'll meet you at the end here to show you how I end this round. Now I've made it back around here, and I have 2 stitches left because this one I've actually worked a thermal double crochet into. Again, you need to pay attention to where you worked them so you don't add stitches. So I've got this one and this one left to work. So I'm going to yarn over, come down into the middle of that, pick up the back loop only, come pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. One more here, so we're going to yarn over, pick up the back loop, come across here, pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Whoops. Now we are ready to join, so we kind of slightly turn this here. So now we're going to come and we're going to work right here into this space right here, and we're going to yarn over, pull through, pull through. So we're slip stitching to close that round. That's what the inside looks like here, and this is what the outside looks like, and that completes round 2. So again, making sure that your stitch count stays the same is super important for your rows with the thermal double crochet, because sometimes you can end up with too many or too little. So again, you could just count these V's on the top here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So my stitch count stayed the same. Rows 3 and beyond are all worked exactly the same from here on out. So I'll show you row 3, and then I'll show you a finishing row a little bit later on down the road here. But what I like to do is I start by chaining 1. Now what we're doing is we're working our loops together. They're kind of running on the inside. So I actually, to make it easier for myself, like to flip my work out like this. So then that way I'm working around the outside edge of my work. So right now this is how I ended the last round. It looks like this. Then I like to flip it out so it looks like this. And then that way I can just work all the way down around the edge. So again, I'll put a picture here to kind of show you at least one side, what it looks like where you match the loops up. All right, so I'm going to start by yarning over. I'm going to come down. I'm actually going to go into this stitch right here. We're going to go down, pick up that back loop, come across, pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Now there's 3 on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now there's 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 more, and that completes 1. Going to do the same thing, yarn over, insert, pick up the back loop, pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've got 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I would continue working like this in the exact same manner all the way around here, and I'll show you how we end this round. So I'll hurry around. So again, back loop, parallel partner, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll just keep working like that all the way around. You'll see it starts to get a little bit easier to see these loops and to see where you place your hook the more rows you get. I find that with all of my thermal stitches that actually is the case, that the more rows I work, the easier it gets to see where I should be placing my hook and what loops I can pick up. So it makes it easier to work on projects the farther I go along, because it gets easier to see with the thermal stitches. I hope that makes sense there. So we're coming up to the end of the row here so you can see where I'm at and where I'm working. So if you look at the top here, I've got 3 stitches left to go. I've got 1, 2, and 3, and they're parallel partners. So I'll put my hook back on here. So I'm going to yarn over, pick up the back loop, pick up its parallel partner, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 left, back loop, parallel, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, and here's my last one. We're going to go down here, pick up that loop, whoops, go down, pick up that loop. Here is its parallel partner right here. That one's a little bit harder to see. Now I've got 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then same as the last row, we're going to come over here and we're going to slip stitch right here to the top of that very first double crochet that we made. So we're going right here, yarn over, pull through to slip stitch it shut. And that's what that row looks like. Again, you're going to want to count to make sure that your stitch count has stayed the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Again, keeping your stitch count is super important, and it's super important to check because this is an easy stitch to lose count of your, or to pick up one or to lose one stitch. So make sure you're checking at least at random spots to make sure that your stitch count is staying the same. So I'll do a few more rows here and then I'll show you how to do a finishing row on this. All right, so I've worked a few more rows, so I just want to show you what this looks like here. So no matter which finishing stitch I'm going to choose, I'm going to start by chaining 1, and then I like to turn it again by flipping things right side out like this, because then again you're seeing that ledge. So that's my turn with this thermal double crochet in the round, is literally I chain 1 and then I kind of flip everything inside out, so that way the loops that I'm working into are on the outside. So hopefully you can see that here. This time, however, no matter which finishing stitch we choose, we're actually going to come from behind and pick up both loops, not just the back loop. We're picking up both of those loops, so we're coming from behind here and underneath how we would normally work a crochet stitch, and then we'll come across and pick up the parallel partner. So that's the difference with whatever finishing stitch you choose. Now I tend to prefer to do a single crochet or a slip stitch actually with the thermal double crochet. I had somebody tell me about slip stitching and I actually like how that looks. I'll show you just a couple of them here. So a lot of people like to finish the thermal double crochet with a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over. For a double crochet finish, I'd yarn over, I'd come from behind, pick up both of those loops, come across. So now I have 5 loops on my hook. I would yarn over, pull through 3 of those loops. Now there's 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, come from behind, pick up both loops, pick up the parallel partner. There's 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 of those loops. Now there's 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'll do just a couple more here so you can see what this finishing edge looks like, and then I'll show you a single crochet, and then I'll show you a slip stitch. So that's what it looks like with a finishing double crochet stitch. What I don't like about it is I feel like it's a little flimsy there at the top. If you actually come on the inside here, you can see it's a little more flimsy looking at the top. So I'll show you why I like the single crochet and now actually the slip stitch better. So just like the double crochet, again, I chain 1 to start. I come from behind, so I'm kind of skipping over this. I'm going into this stitch. I'm picking up both of those loops there, coming and picking up the parallel partner. Now notice this time there's only 4 loops because I did not yarn over first. I would yarn over, pull through 3 of those loops. Now there's 2 left on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, I'd come from behind, pick up both loops, come and pick up the parallel partner. I would yarn over, pull through 2 or 3 of those loops. Now I've got 2 left on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And I would continue this way all the way around for a single crochet finish. So I'll do just a few more here so I can show you the difference on this edge top so you can see why I like it just a little bit more. So here's a single crochet finished top. So you can see it's just not as tall, not as flimsy looking. If I flip to the other side, again, the top just looks a little bit better with a single crochet stitch. And now I'll show you the slip stitch finish. All right, so for the last option to finish this is the slip stitch. So again, I chain one to start, just like the single crochet. I'm going to skip over this stitch. I'm working into this one first here. So I'm going to come from behind, pick up that first stitch there, come pick up its parallel partner. Now I've got 4 loops on my hook. Now here's the difference with the slip stitch. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those 3 and through the loop on my hook. There, it's just a one fluid movement. So I'm going insert, insert, and then yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. And that's how you would complete the slip stitch. So insert, find the parallel partner, whoops, there's the parallel partner, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Insert, pick up both loops, find the parallel partner, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Both loops, parallel partner, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. I'll do a couple more here because then that way I can show you what it looks like with a slip stitch finish to the top here. And then here's the slip stitch finished top. So you can see it really reduces that height. It also almost gives more of a rolled edge look, kind of like my bottom edge. So I do like that option with the slip stitch. If we flip it to the other side, you can see what that slip stitch top looks like. Just a little bit better looking, I feel like, than the double crochet option. If you use the double crochet, it works, that's fine. It's just whatever your personal preference is. So this is a slip stitch. And that's it. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.